The Scottish Exhibition Centre in Glasgow is a 10,000 sellout. Chris Eubank, the most controversial and complex character in British boxing, is packing them in once again. Hello, a very good evening to you all. Now, Chris Eubank is very much the modern prize fighter, but I get the impression he's more interested in the prizes than the fighting. Eubank, though, is defending the longest unbeaten run in British boxing. He isn't fighting for me or for any of you out there, unless you happen to be his bank manager. But he's had 32 fights and he's won the lot, but there's a very strong impression that his challenger tonight could give him a very rough ride. Tony Thornton, a Marvin Hagler lookalike, 32, from New Jersey, getting a long overdue shot at a world title. A hard nut, a big puncher, and one of the best finishers in the game.
It's called the hammer. It's where the firepower comes from. It originates here in the hips, but it ends up here.
Like many big hitters, he's got bad hands. He's had a bone graft on his right, but he's very, very confident.
It's a great opportunity for me to come over and show the people of Europe that I am a formidable opponent for Eubank's title or anyone's title. I didn't get to be ranked number 1, 1, 2, and 3 by all the sanctioning bodies just on good looks alone. You know what I mean? I had to go out and fight and earn my ratings.
Eubank's made lots of friends in Glasgow. His public sparring sessions have raised £5,000 for children's charities. This is his 9th world title fight in 22 months. Last time out, he won a stinker against Ron Essett. Tonight, though, should be very different.
This will be, unfortunately for me, a good fight. Fortunately for the viewing public, it'll be a good fight for the viewing public.
You say unfortunately for you, Chris, because you're happier going in there, not getting too banged about and counting the money next morning.
I have no intention of getting hurt. My intention is to do the job, leave the ring, and get on with my life.
Back home in Glasgow, New Jersey, Thornton is a postman. Eubank says he won't be giving up his day job.
I said to him, I'm going to try and send him back to his job. I don't have any other job to go to. This is my way of life. This is how I earn my living. And he's an obstacle of which I have to move out of the way. I'm sending him back to his work.
Now then, some very good judges feel tonight is the night when Eubank gets his comeuppance. Tonight is the night when he loses that world title. My own feelings are that he'll be just too strong and too crafty for Tony Thornton. We shall see. Rejoin us in Glasgow in a couple of minutes. And welcome back to the Exhibition Centre in Glasgow. In these parts, it's good to have a minder, and Jim Watt is with me tonight. Jim, there's a big roar behind us. That's Tony Thornton trying to get a bit of local support, wearing a Glasgow kilt, I think. He's been a class act here, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the locals have really taken to him. He's here, he means business. He's made a lot of friends since he's got here. He's looked the part, looked very good in the gymnasium. Eubank only likes to fight when he has to fight. I think this fella is going to make him fight. I think we're in for a cracker tonight.
And I think Thornton, he came here to Scotland and he told me the other day there are a lot of other Thorntons around up here. He feels at home despite the fact this will be his first fight outside the States.
Yeah, well, he has to remember this is not really Chris Eubank's home territory either. So I think that whoever produces the goods tonight, that the crowd are going to sway their way. Obviously Eubank is British, but he's not Scottish, so who knows, if this fella puts up a show, I think the support could swing behind him.
Well, Thornton all ready to fight, and Chris Eubank, who loves to keep his opponents, to keep everybody waiting, ready to make his entrance here. And here comes Eubank, and I think it's fair to say, well, there aren't many boos for Eubank here tonight, are there, Jim?
No, I think over the last couple of years, Eubank has made a lot of friends. Although we've had some less than sparkling performances, he's a great showman, and a couple of real good performances have kept the crowd on his side, so he's made a lot of friends and he has improved as a fighter.
There are two sort of Jekyll and Hyde characters up there tonight. Thornton as nice a fellow as you can meet outside the ring, and some of Eubank's public image is very different to the real thing.
I don't know if we'll ever see the real Chris Eubank. The couple of times I've met Chris, he's been very pleasant. I really got to like the fellow. So hopefully he'll be in a bad mood tonight and really get down to business.
Now, Jim, I think you suffered with the rest of us, didn't you? The old ball by the shore when this guy fought Ron Essett out there in Portugal. But he's got a real lively opponent against him tonight.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like the fight game, Jim. The ring is a terrible place to be sometimes when you like it, so when you don't like it, it must be a horrible place to be. So he only fights when he really has to fight. The only time we've seen him at his best is when the other guy has dragged it out of him. I think that the best of Chris Eubank will be too good for Thornton, but anything else, he could lose his title tonight, because Thornton can fight. He's highly rated in all the world bodies. This guy can fight.
Well, he's getting a fantastic reception. He's almost an adopted Scot, is Chris Eubank. And any moment now it's going to be up and over. Into the ring. Ronnie Davis holding the championship belt, his long-time trainer, who says he gets Chris in the right mood. Well, he certainly looks up for this one. And that's the little gesture that Frank Bruno really enjoyed last time when he was with us, just patting those gloves together. Well, a 10,000 set out here, and Eubank is in and ready to do battle. Jim Watt has left me and gone down to join your big fight commentator, Reg Guthridge, of course. This has got all the makings. Very shortly, it's going to be up to the two guys in there. First of all, we will hear from the MC, Alan Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the other main attraction of the evening, promoted by Matchroom in association with Tommy Gilmore, promoted by the Daily Record and the Daily Mirror newspapers. And this is a super middleweight contest at 12 stone, over 12 rounds each, of 3 minutes duration, for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the world. Your judges for the contest are Ovi Olsen of Denmark, Cesar Ramos of Puerto Rico, Torben Hansen of Copenhagen, your WBO supervisor Ed Levine from the United States of America, your matchmaker Frank Turner from London, your timekeeper Jim Russell of Scotland, and ladies and gentlemen, when the bell rings and the action begins, the referee Stanley Christodoulou of Johannesburg. Presenting and introducing to you in the red corner with the black and the white shorts, with a record of 31 wins from 36 contests, 23 inside the distance, from Glasgow, New Jersey, the challenger for the title, Tony Thornton! And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with the red shorts, with an undefeated record of 32 wins from 32 contests, from Brighton, the WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Chris Eubank! Ladies and gentlemen, at the wedding today, both boxers scaled 12 stone exactly. I thank you.
So there it is now. Tony Thornton himself very popular here. He said, well, if I break my hand again, I hope it's on Eubank's jaw. But the Scots certainly liked a bit of play acting there, didn't they, by the pose that we've now got accustomed to with Eubank. But he was telling me he's punished himself as far as he can go in training, and he said, I've no complaints now, I'm really fit. Both the same weight as the Master Ceremony said, 12 stone, super middleweight division. Now, it's not an easy name to remember, Thornton. He hasn't done any fighting this side of the water. But within the trade, in Atlantic City in particular, he's always known as a really good workman. The punching postman. He said, I'm quick enough to have only been bitten by one dog. And obviously his idol was Marvin Hagler. This is why he's had the look-alike shaven head. He originally comes from, born in Philadelphia. Well, there a left hook is a calling card, I promise you. A real tough fighting city, that. few lapses in his career, Thornton, and he says, well, when you've got a day job like I've got early morning and back to the gym, so I started to lose a bit of interest, but now I'm really pumped up now, rated by all the boxing authorities, as they now call themselves, a bit fragmented, as you'll probably know by now. Thornton had watched Eubank on video. He said I couldn't quite work him out. He was kind of weird, his stance and the way backward motion. He said, but I'm not here to evaluate him psychologically. He does as we thought, Jim. Thornton's going to walk after him the whole time.
Yeah, well, you can see already he's one of these solid old pros who marches forward behind a tight, high defence. He's going to make Eubank work it seems, and Eubank doesn't really like that. He likes to control the pace, box in little spurts, don't sustain anything unless you really have to do that. Well, this fellow, I think, is going to keep marching forward. He's landed a couple of decent shots already, and I think he's as good as we expected he would be. He's a little bit tighter than Eubank, and he's getting through with the punches. He's blocking most of what Eubank throws.
There he is going to walkabout as he does so well, actually. Eubank really confuses the opposition when he does that. He's good at stealing breathers, actually, Eubank, but also a good finisher.
That's a good left hook, Reg. Because this fella is going to force Eubank into making mistakes. Eubank doesn't really like leading. This fella's going to make him lead.
Oh, well out of distance. That's a bad habit he has, that Eubank with the right hand. So a little strut back to the corner, as only he can. He even lectures the crowd at gymnasium sessions. Oh, very calm and collected there. Ronnie Davis, former Southern Area champion from Brighton, and Freddie King on the outside of the ropes. Calls his trainer the human pit bull terrier. And a little bit of interruption by the sponsors lady, the Daily Record and Daily Mirror. Great old character in the corner there, Wesley Mouzon, that is, who fought the great Ike Williams, for those who follow the fight game, and Bob Montgomery, and had a detached record. Very good fighter in his day, didn't quite make it.
Second round, round 2.
Second round then, and of course scheduled for 12. And a very experienced referee here in Stanley Christodoulou from Johannesburg. His 59th world championship. He handled the Pat Barrett Malin Galloway contest in Manchester. Now that was a real effective burst there by Eubank, Jim. He doesn't usually put them together like that in salvos, but he does there.
Well, he can do it, Reg. It's just that he very seldom sustains it. He showed an excellent jab in his fight with Malinga. It wasn't his greatest performance, but he showed an excellent left jab, and I think that would come in handy tonight, because this fellow seems to be going to march straight forward. So a good solid jab wouldn't be a bad weapon. He looks very competent, Thornton, doesn't he?
Yeah, good old circuit pro, isn't it? 32. But he was fairly late taking the game up, actually. He began at 19. Certainly Eubank hasn't got to go looking for it, does he?
No, I think Thornton's going to do the same thing all the way through, keep marching forward, forcing Eubank to work. Eubank's punching a little bit wide kind of swinging punches, plenty of power, but Thornton's seen them coming and blocking most of them.
He's been in the melting pot a few times, Thornton. It'll take a lot more pressure than that to worry him. There's one on his record that may not be a famous name, called Dave Tiberi, and he defeated him, and he was the fellow who went on to fight James Toney, and lost the verdict, but there was almost an investigation into that. They thought it was so bad. So that one line on his record says that he must give Eubank a good fight.
He doesn't waste too much either, Reg. You know, nice and compact. A couple of times he started to throw a punch, realised it wasn't going to land and pulled it back. He doesn't really waste much energy.
Eubank was saying that when he was watching the tape, he said that if I hadn't have done, I'd have certainly been in for a lot of surprises. So he showed that much respect for the opposition. Yeah, the crowd are going to give the American plenty of encouragement, I'll tell you, when he starts landing. Round 3. Well, if Eubank has been fed a fairly easy diet of ordinary opponents along the way sometimes, certainly not Nigel Benn or Michael Watson. He realises now he's got a fairly hard job on his hands. This fellow Thornton is about as impassive as a ring post.
Making good use of the jab at the start of this round, Reg. Just wondered, can he sustain it? See, already he's going walkabout.
I think he's looking a lot sharper than certainly against the Essex fight, which, you know, is just like watching a plank walk in Portugal, that was. He's looking, you know, he's getting off a lot better, Eubank, than he's shown.
These punches are too wide, Reg. Too wide, they can all run all the way behind Thornton.
He's a worrying puncher, Thornton. You know, you say, well, he doesn't stop many, but he has. He stopped 23 of 31 that he's won.
I could see him grinding some people down too, Reg. After 7 or 8 rounds of this, I think a few people would be ready to lie down, even if the punching wasn't very dynamic. It's a good pressure fighter.
Yeah, the accumulation of punches.
Good punching from Eubank, but they're not really getting straight through to target. Good high, tight defence Thornton has.
It's often good, Eubank, of bringing the punches right up through the middle, isn't he? I wonder if he's going to try that, get the punch through the guard there. Thornton digging the right hand to the body right above us here, but I must say he's very tough there, Eubank. You watch him in training, he really is muscled up and strong. Mind you, I was a bit impressed as well by Thornton's biceps, Jim.
Yeah, powerful looking there. Good strong arms, good thumping punches. He hasn't really been able to get much power into the punches. Eubank keeping him off balance, keeps moving from side to side, moving back. So these little flicking jabs, although they're scoring points, they're just little flicks. You can't get the power into them yet. Get some power into that one.
Yeah, even the crowd at the back of the hall thought that. They must have seen it coming, but obviously Eubank wasn't part of that crowd. Oh, that's the little showdown stare. Perhaps to say, oh, that's what it's going to be all about. Have a look at that again, Jim, from the close-up camera.
Yeah, a lot of good work from Eubank then, but not an awful lot of the punches. That was a bad miss. Not an awful lot of the punches getting home on target. So although he's keeping himself busy enough, I don't think he's really making much of a dent in this fellow. He smothers everything that comes his way and comes back with nice little jabs of his own. Eubank has some problems tonight, Reg.
And there it is from a different angle.
So you can see how loose Eubank is at times. Big wide punches, no defence. Normally he can pull his head out of trouble, but this fella's walking right up to him.
Fourth round then. And referee Chris Dooley making sure they're not coming out for work too easily, too quickly. He certainly thinks he's boxing a lot, Eubank. Keeps saying he doesn't like the game, but he likes to turn it in what he thinks is a bit of an art form. In fact, I think he'd like to get a PhD in pugilism.
I tell you, Reg, it's difficult when the fellow just keeps marching forward. He's just smothering most of Eubank's punches, not troubled in the slightest, and just stays on top of him. This is the worst kind of opponent for Eubank. He hates this kind of boxing. Likes a bit of room to move, a little bit of time to think.
Yeah, and just remember, Jim, he is the mandatory challenger. I think if I could read Eubank's lips, and he said, "Come on, man," at one stage there. I don't know why he wants to trade it. Even at the distance would suit Eubank far more like that.
Thornton still making Eubank work, Reg. Still drawing the punches from him. These are big thumping punches, using up a lot of steam and not bothering Thornton. Eubank may be well advised just to steal a couple of rounds with his jab, get himself in front rather than use up too much steam getting nowhere.
Yeah, he's getting on his bike now, as you say, trying to steal a rest. He almost fell off it there too. You can hear those punches right above us here, thumping in. I tell you, I'm surprised that Eubank's standing there letting him punch himself out. That's a bit dangerous. Minute to go in the fourth. An example there of Eubank's uppercut. Is he going to try that again? There it is. A lot of those punches at him are landing on the gloves, aren't they? He's tucking himself well in there, Thornton.
Yeah, he seems quite happy just to let Eubank keep working. Maybe he fancies himself over the longer distance at a pace like this. A lot of good work from Eubank in this round, but again hasn't really put a dent in this man.
And out for round 5. Well, Thornton's prediction that I'll stay right on top of him, he was telling us. He kept his word okay there. But I'm more impressed with Eubank in recent fights.
Yeah, this is more like the real Chris Eubank, the one that realises he has to produce the goods. If he can have an easy night, he has an easy night. He doesn't worry too much about pleasing the fans. But this is going to be a hard night for him, and he seems prepared for it.
Yeah, as he blow the championship, his jaw will have to go back to debating. See, now Thornton trying to win the battle of the lefts, isn't he, a bit? Doesn't really lose the jab very much. He's trying it in this round.
But Thornton is not matching up quite so close. He's trying to box a little bit more at long range, which isn't really working for him. I think he wants to keep matching up close to Eubank. If you give Eubank room to move, He's very difficult to hit.
And he's trying to cut the ring size down to his one of the larger rings, 20-foot inside measurement there. Well, the old postman gave him the old-fashioned postman's knock punch there. Jimmy doubled that one up.
Eubank having one of his lazy spells again.
Minute to go in the fifth. It's one of Thornton, Jim, looks like he can fight all night. He's only just getting warmed up.
In the standing trade, that's Thornton's game. You can see he's perfectly happy up close, letting the punches roll.
Obviously, Eubank been practicing defence a bit, boxing in the gymnasium with a very good boxer in Chris Pyatt. And that's hardly called him a sparring partner. So coming up then, countdown for the fifth. Scheduled, of course, for 12 rounds. World Boxing Organisation Super Middleweight Championship of the World, 11 stone. 12 stone, I should say, and they both came in on the button, 12 stone. So referee Christopher collecting the scorecards at the end of each round and giving them to the supervisor, 2 Danish judges and a Puerto Rican. Have a look at Thornton's jabbing that I was referring to there, John.
Not a bad round there from Thornton, Reg. He kept nice and tight, kept marching forward, scoring the good clean punches. Wasn't a great round for Eubank then. I know it didn't come to any great harm, but I give Thornton the round. I have them actually level at the moment, 2 apiece with 1 even. So, as we thought, it's going to be a hard one.
And there's the old pro, Wesley Mouzon, who's to say not well known to the public, but within the old American trade he was highly respected. Sixth round. Eubank's actually held this championship at 2 weights, the light middleweight. No, the middleweight and then the super middleweight. That's right, not the light middleweight. He started his career as a light middleweight in Atlantic City, just in 4-round fights. He won 5 there. Oh dear.
It's that big right hand I wish he wouldn't throw, Reg. If it lands, it's a beauty, but it seldom lands.
Shoved him off there, and the referee was onto that. See, now he's doubling up the left-hand punch now, the champion. It's an interesting contest, Jim, isn't it, this?
Yeah, they're actually standing off boxing now. Eubank has an excellent jab, and I think this would be a good night to start using that. He doesn't really want to let this fellow up close. If he can steal some rounds without really punishing himself, there's going to be some hard rounds anyway, which are unavoidable.
That's Thornton's style. He wears the opposition down like a virus, doesn't he? Well, stand still while I hit you, says Thornton, but Eubank's a bit too smart for that. Minute to go in the 6th.
So you see as the rounds wear on, Thornton becomes more effective. When Eubank is slippery at the start of the round, he has some problems. The longer the round goes, he starts getting closer and closer. He really finishes the rounds, putting them under pressure.
He almost got away with that wild right hand. It landed, as you saw, around the back of Thornton's head. Well, he probably slips punches quite well, Jim, with a shake of head like that. So the countdown for the end of the 6th. Coming up for the 7th round then. One or two solid punches by Eubank, Jim, but plenty of action really by Thornton. I wonder how you've got it at this stage really. It's not easy.
I've got Eubank 1 round in front of us. I thought he won the previous round just with the volume of punching. Thornton was blocking most of them, but he kept busy. And he kept prodding the punching straight home towards Thornton's forehead. So I've just got 1 round in front at the moment, but it's never easy.
Noticed earlier there the referee spotted another shoulder shove by Eubank, just gestured to him not to do it. I get the impression Eubank's a bit frustrated by that high guard of Thornton. He knows how to do it. He's tucking down now, trying to shoot an uppercut in there, I think.
Yeah, well, Eubank likes to outwit his opponents, force them into making mistakes, but this fellow just keeps marching forward behind a tight defence, doesn't make too many mistakes. Thornton scores quite a bit with a jab just as Eubank moves away. Just these little punches are all scoring points while he's blocking most of Eubank's.
Although he showed us the scars on his right hand, I mean, it's incredible the graft they've done there on Thornton's hand. He's still using it, so it's not giving him any problem. He won his last fight on a count-out, but the opposition didn't mean much anyway.
Eubank's taken an awful lot of jabs, Reg. We don't normally see this from Eubank. I don't know if it's because Thornton's jab, that there's no great power behind it at the moment, but he's taken quite a few.
So they've both been cautioned without stopping the contest and wave play on, but with low blows there. I think Thornton's inspired by the fact that he could actually give up his day job if he can win the championship of the world.
Yeah, well, I've got him nicking this round, Reg, because his punch, again, clean on target. Whereas Eubanks have been blocked, part of the power taken from him, but all of Thornton's bang on target.
A real workman-like pro, this fella, isn't he? He used to turn them out on a conveyor belt in Philadelphia. He's got the adrenaline swab sticks there ready to use, but well, yes, just to touch them in the nose there. Jim, in replay.
See, he just never stops working, just keeps marching forward, and as we say, Chris Eubank doesn't like boxing like this. He likes to dictate the pace, but he's pulling away, but he's getting caught with these punches.
And co-promoter Barry Hearn there with "Come on, Chris," he was calling in the corner. You've got to work. And now trainer showing him how he thinks he wants it done, so there you are. But of course when the bell goes, they're the clever ones, they dive out the ring a bit quickly. Round 8. Well, it's getting a bit even then, Jim, if we consider that Thornton won the last round.
Yeah, well, that's only my card, remember, Reg, but I thought Thornton won the first round, the fifth, and then the last round, so I've got them dead level at the moment. So Eubank is so effective when he uses that jab, doubles up. See, he stops Thornton from working when he uses the jab. Even if he's not landing cleanly, he stops him from working.
Yeah, it just keeps him occupied, doesn't it? What about the stamina factor here, John? What's your view of that? I mean, he's been known to blow a bit, Eubank.
Well, I think he's using a bit more smart now, Reg. He was wasting punches in the first few rounds, swinging big silly right hands round behind Thornton. But now he's tapered things down a little bit. He's not throwing silly punches. He's trying to make every punch count. But he's still going to have to keep busy. So I think he knows this is going to be a long night. It's just a stumble.
Well, he didn't like that at all, Eubank. The stumble, and he's taken his time getting up there.
He's taking full advantage of the rest, Reg. That's not a great sign.
A bit of a blow to his ego, that one. It wasn't a punch, but he didn't like hitting the deck.
As I say, Reg, that jab could be very effective. Just keeps Thornton occupied, but he's marching through it now.
He didn't only telegraph that punch, he practically sent a postcard to the postman. Well, that big right hand is coming over.
Dangerous with the head, yep.
Oh, he made that pretty obvious, didn't he, Stanley Christodoulou? He didn't like that. You see, they can deduct a point. That can be dangerous. You lose a point in this game now, you can often lose a decision if the rounds are close. Only a 1-point margin. You can make them a 2-point margin if it's a one-sided round. And if either boxer goes down 3 times in one round, then it's an obligatory stoppage. Oh, it's a good burst here by the American. Coming up to the end of the 8th. Let's have a look at Eubank on the deck there, Jim, exactly what happened. Yeah, he actually missed with a punch and then got caught up with the leg of it and he shoved him over. He was actually trying to get him off, wasn't he, Thornton, there? Well, almost getting the shower bath in the corner. Bit of a wash and brush up. And I would think now they're not too pleased about it. They're not too confident, really. He certainly got that touch of Marvin Hagler about him. I wouldn't want to burden him with a direct comparison, but certainly looks the part, Thornton. Round 9. No use Eubank saying I'll save myself for the final couple of rounds or something, because this fellow might swap punches with him even better if they stand trading.
I don't mind Eubank backing off, Reg, if he keeps using that jab. Because see, Thornton can't work when that jab keeps flashing towards him, then Eubank moves back out of range again. This is when Thornton finds it difficult. When Eubank stands still, he runs into troubles. He has to keep moving and keep using the jab.
He looks as though he's half a gear up now, isn't he, Thornton?
So Eubank always starts the round well. The first half minute of a round, Eubank looks good, but then he tends to start circling, dropping his hands. And that's when he gets caught with the punches as he pulls away.
certainly absorbs the blow well, Thornton.
What are missing in this round, Reg?
Well, he certainly needs to put his fight face on again now, Eubank. Very charitable in training here. People paying to see him and giving it all to charities. And quite popular in Scotland. Minute to go in the 9th. Good, busy round by the Americans.
Yep, some good defensive boxing from Eubank. But again, Eubank good in the early stages. Thornton put him under pressure as the round goes on. Eubank might just have nicked it with the jabbing in the early part of the round, but again, he finishes the round under pressure here.
Oh, well, that's riled Eubank. That's done him a favour, actually. See, now he's really unloading it now. I mean, the challenge is his gunpowder, actually, but I didn't hear the bell there. Not hauling him back to the corner, just telling him which way, I would think. I hope he's not hauling him back.
I think Chris was in the middle of a bowing to the crowd then when they dragged him back. When you want to, in a fight like this, you want back to the corner as quick as possible, give them every second to get to work on you.
Yeah, there it is, Jim.
Yeah, with some good work here from Thornton, good thumping, solid little punches, but Eubank finished the round with better punches. So Eubank, for the first time tonight, get a chance to use his power. These were good punches from Thornton. Look, see the way that the hip and the shoulders turning with those punches. But Eubank come back with better. This was the start of Eubank's good work. That was a good right-hand shot. That got Thornton thinking.
Round 10. And this World Championship has really livened up now. It's always been an intriguing battle of wits. And now they're putting their punches together a bit more because there's desperation on both sides now, trying to make sure they can get a verdict.
Well, Eubank has suddenly started to look like the master for the first time, Reg. I mean, he came out of the corner then really ready to go to work. Thornton took a long time to come off the stool, and he's standing at a distance from Eubank. Eubank, for the first time, really looks the boss.
Well, they might be ungainly right hands, but they're hurting. Although he is blocking a fair share of them, Thornton, but I don't get too many points for defence like that. The aggression will count. Oh dear, nearly knocked him over with the wind of that one. So now they're on Eubank's side, the Scots. Giving it the chant.
A little bit of good news for Eubank, Reg. That's the first time we've seen him dominate. Oh, good left hook.
They gave the impression of being a bit drained there, the American, for a while. Maybe, well, there's too much of an old campaign or anything to show that, but a bit concerned for him there.
Okay, Thornton seems to be trying to steal a rest here. It's the first time we've seen that happen.
Admiring his work a little bit now, Eubank, but he can afford to because he started around so well. That's right hand punch, the uppercut. That's probably the best. He's used it really, got some leverage in that one. Oh dear, referee trying to go. He didn't expect him to come that way.
Thornton trying to get to work now, but he's left it a long time in this round before he gets started.
Yeah, it's been a dominating round by the champion. He's trying to tire Thornton a bit, even by making him chase him like that, Eubank. A lot of space between him there. Oh, a little bit of exhibitionism now, and the crowd love it. Oh, both going back to... Well, they've got to sort those two out in the wrong corner. And he's not in a hurry, is he, Eubank, to get back to his own? Americans weren't too pleased about that. We don't blame them. There you are, Jim. Now there's Eubank getting through.
I think that's Eubank's best round so far, Reg. He really looked the master all the way through that round. Thornton came back with a couple of punches, but all the way through, Eubank was the man. And as I say, this was the first time he really dominated the action. He really pinned Thornton in the corner. Thornton was quite happy to grab hold and get the referee to split them up.
There you are. Do it like that, says the trainer. He's got to really pump. I mean, he does his own thing, obviously, Eubank, but he's finally got to listen now to the man he calls his human pit bull there, Ronnie Davis, because it's been close enough for argument for a long time. But now Eubank seems to me to have got back on top again. So round 11. Just a reminder, 2 Danish judges and a Puerto Rican, and the referee doesn't score. Maybe the American cornermen have been saying to Thornton here, Jim, you know, you allowed him to take the play away from you a bit in that round, so and dominate this one and make up for it.
Yeah, Thornton didn't look the same force. See, we have to remember how physically strong Eubank is, and when he decides to use that strength, he really is a handful. And in that round, he did that. He started dominating the action, using his strength and his power. And Thornton, it was really the worst round Thornton's had. Good job he's done his road work. Probably along the right beach, I would think there. Eubank, he knows how to skip round okay. Sort himself out and then try and sort the other fellow out. And he's still got plenty left, Thornton. I was beginning to wonder whether he was wilting just a bit in the 10th Jim, but he's come back into it again. Yep, I think Chris has settled down slightly. I think that round took a little bit out of him. Using the tricks now, just stealing the seconds. He's certainly been a fighting champion, Eubank. Had his share of critics, including me sometimes. It's his 9th consecutive WBO championship in 22 months. Well, that's what they call making use of this big ring, Jim, isn't it? There's very few champions do that, really. Get well out of range. Well, I think Eubank feels he's got himself in front here. He doesn't want to take any chances, and at the moment I certainly agree with him. But his jab has been working well tonight, and that was really the previous round. He really put up a lovely show.
Bit predictable, Thornton. Wasting the valuable seconds, says his trainer, walking along there, acknowledging the crowd. He loves it. But it feeds off the crowd, really, Eubank. What started off as a sort of eccentricity stuff that he does, and leaping over the ropes and the Napoleonic strut. Well, I wouldn't say it necessarily endeared him to the public, but beginning to like him a lot more than at the start of his career. Oh, breathing hard there, Jim. Now, what do they say now? Coming out for the last round, what's the words?
Yeah, all he has to do is keep busy in the last round, Reg. Don't lose the last round and into the title. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think Thornton has ever really done quite enough to take Eubank's title from him.
Now, he's been a good, honest challenger, and he's got 3 minutes now to try and turn it around. So the formality of the old touch of gloves. And I've said before, a bit like the dentist handshake before the extraction. Giving him the elbow, you know that expression, well there you got it. But overall, Jim, it's been a fairly clean fight, really. They're kind of minor troubles they've had there, isn't it?
Yeah, there has been much. A couple of head clashes and stuff like that, which you expect in a 12-rounder. You know, it's been a good clean fight, good hard. Not an awful lot of drama, Reg. One round's been pretty much the same as the rest, but they've all been good. They've all been good, solid, workman-like rounds. Eubank always seems to be that little bit ahead thought-wise. Just produces the work at the right time, then goes for a walk at the right time, control the pace well.
Yeah, I think I heard him say, "I've got you there, Chip," believe it or not. It looked like what he said, Eubank. Well, Thornton was right when he weighed up in advance. Obviously, the Eubank style has been kind of weird. They're not used to this type of fighting in the States. Now he knows how to back off and then counter-punch and change his tactics.
Well, I don't think you can win rounds, Reg, when you're actually running around the ring. That's what Eubank's doing here, is actually running around.
Well, certainly Thornton deserved the mandatory challenge spot, didn't he?
Yep, certainly put up a show, Reg, and I had it pretty level up until the last third of the fight. Then I thought Eubank just a little bit sharper, a little bit smarter, and Thornton just keep doing the same things all the way through.
Eubank corner yelling out there, "Come on, jab, jab," in the last round.
He's giving the last round a rear edge. All he's doing is running and flicking with the punches. He's giving it away.
Well, he's responded to that, though. He's jabbing with Thornton a bit. So he just glanced to his corner there, Jim, to look at Ronnie Davis. You notice that, Eubank?
Yep, I think he'll be quite pleased to hear the final bell. It's been a hard night's work for him.
Yep, there's the clock then.
He obviously feels he has a couple of rounds in hand because he's not really too interested in winning this last round. Obviously, he doesn't feel it hinges on this.
So we're going to get a few sweaty palms up. They're saying, "Give us a cheer, I've won this." If that doesn't influence the judges, nothing will, and it's all over. A game you haven't heard the bell. And Barry Hearn there first in the ring as always, and John Morris, the boxing board of control, making sure that nobody invades the ring that don't belong in there, which is always a good thing. And the referee from South Africa taking the final cards and giving them to the supervisors to make sure there's no mistakes. Nice to see a world championship without any kind of injuries as well, and he deserves the plaudits a little bit as he's walking around the ring there, Thornton. But maybe the old tartan kilt didn't quite work for him, Jimmy.
No, I thought, as I say, up until 2/3 of the way through the fight, Thornton doing well, keeping it pretty level. I thought that in the last third, Eubank just used a little bit of championship quality that he has. He knew what was required, little spurt here and there, keep the jab moving, keep Thornton off balance. And I don't really feel Thornton's done enough to take a man's title away.
No, and a bloodied nose to go with it. Well, they say you can get that in a school playground these days, but this way I'm getting paid for it. Highest purse he's had up to now, Thornton, was $25,000, but he's certainly getting a lot more of that with the co-promotion of Gilmore and Hurley's. Seems to be satisfied with Eubank now, so we'll get you in another title defence this year. So old pals again at the end. There's one thing that boxing overall does. They have the respect for each other at the end of a contest, the gladiatorial bit really. He's not being very demonstrative there, is he, Thornton? So I got a feeling Jimmy's is aware of the fact that he won't get it away from home anyway, and that the champion will hang on to the title. But we've had so many shocks lately with results. I wonder if this one will be the same. It is unanimous anyway.
Judge Cesar Romero's scores the points 116 to 113.
2 rounds.
Judge Torben Hansen scores the
3 rounds.
contest 117 to 112.
Oh, that's a big one.
Judge Ove Olsen scores the contest 115 to 113. The winner and still
Yes,
the WBO
Eubank has got it.
champion of the world, Chris Eubank.
One of the Danes 170 and 112. And the others gave it 113, both against Thornton, so it's a pretty good judging that.
And ladies and gentlemen, the WBO Super Middleweight belt being presented now by the supervisor, Ed Levine, to the winner, Chris Eubank.
So there's Ed Levine from Miami, not there. He's just gone out of the picture now as he presents the WBO belt to him yet again.
To a tremendous challenge from the challenger, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Thornton.
Quite right, good cheer for the loser. He deserved that, and have no argument at that point in, and I doubt very much with the Thornton, but he's a very articulate fella, knows the score a bit. He's come, he's tried, and he's got well paid. Well, we can't do interviews in the ring these days, but hopefully we're trying to get Eubank over to talk to Gary Newbond outside the ring. And there's the belt.
Okay, we're going to do it here.
So that's the doctor just giving him a quick check, and he says, I'm bruised.
Chris, that was a very hard fight, but a very good performance against a real pressure fighter.
You thought it was a good performance, and I'm glad, because I can take your advice. I've come to know that you understand a bit about boxing. Rather, you understand a lot. This man was a tough. I didn't think he would stay there for the big shots. He stayed there. Now, I have nothing but admiration for a fighter like this. He was rated 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the world. All the world-rated bodies. This was a good fighter. Now, I have to take this time to pay tribute to Michael Watson, a man who's recovering in hospital today. With all the fans and the public appreciation towards Michael, thank God he's making a recovery. Let me just say this to Michael now. This is street talk, so this isn't for the man who wears the top hat and the suit. This is street talk. Michael, you are the original bad boy, and I pay all my respects to the highest to you. Let me say one more.
Well, that's a nice gesture from Chris Eubank, of course, on the first anniversary of that fight against Michael Watson. Well, earlier on tonight, Pat Clinton retained his World Championship here. Pat Clinton retained that title, got a unanimous verdict over Danny Porter. I must admit, I thought it was a bit closer than some of the judges gave it. Unanimous verdict for him. There's more boxing here on ITV next week when we'll see Colin McMillan, such an exciting fighter, defending his world title for the first time. 9:20 live on ITV next Saturday. He's done it again. He's still world champion. Bye-bye from Glasgow.